Next, I'm going to show you how to modify your morph's height and body type using these two height and body type modifiers. First, we're going to work with this one here, size, and the normal height would be with the value at just about 1. If you want your character to be taller, I'd suggest putting it at 1.1. You can mess with the height as much as you want, and you can make a character any height you want. Normally, though, I try to stay in like the area of being close to the regular character height for realism, but again, you just make a character any height you want. So I'm going to put it at 1.11 for this one. And then for this one, I'm going to put it at 0.96. Or just, no, 0.9. Then we're going to play test. As you can see here, my character and this dummy are just about the exact same height. Now we're going to test out this. As you can see, it's a little bit taller than the normal character height. I really hate the new Roblox death sound. Next, we're going to test out this one, which, as you can see, is a lot shorter. And now that these two are done, I'm just going to get them out of the way here. Next, I'm going to show you how to modify your character's height using the body type modifiers or the skinny modifiers. You're going to open up your morph, and you're just going to want, for now, settings open. You're going to select skinny. I'm just going to select it for both of these since I'm going to use both of these. And we're going to close this again, open up dummy. First, I'm going to show you how to make your morph shorter. You're not going to want to touch the head, but you're going to take your torso, make it one shorter, arms, make them both one shorter. Definitely going to take the humanoid root part, since this is very important. You're going to make it one shorter. Then you're going to move these legs up, and if you want to from here, you can make them, just like everything else, one shorter. Then you're going to play test. And what you want to do with it here is just make sure that everything's in order. For example, it's all in order here. And as you can see, it's a little bit shorter than the normal player size. And we can just get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. Now for making your player taller, or the morph taller with the skinny modifier, again, you're not going to want to touch the head for now, but you're going to want to take the legs, move them down one, arms, size by 1, humanoid root part, do the same thing, or at least until you see this red line at the top of the legs, you're going to want that. Then, you're going to take the legs, you're going to size them by 1 down here. And if you want, you can open up assets. You're going to want to use the head part in assets and move this up 1. or you're going to notice how if you don't do that, the chin is going to go into the torso, and you might not want that. Then you're going to play test it just like you did with the other one. And then you're going to test this out. And as you can see, it's a little bit taller than the normal player size. You might notice how it's in the base plate just a little bit. You can move your humanoid root part down just a little tiny itty bitty bit if you want to avoid that. But I just don't bother with it normally. Next, I'm going to show you how to make your morph thinner and wider with the body type modifiers. Again, just like before, I'm going to select these both, close these all out, open up settings, and you're going to want to enable the skinny value for both of them. We're going to start with this by making the character thinner. You're going to want to start with the torso, and whatever you do with the torso, you're going to want to repeat it with humanoid root part. For example, we're going to make it thinner like this all the way around. Just got to ignore that back right there. We're going to do the same with this. Then we're going to move the arms in. And we're going to repeat it like this. And then we're going to do the same with the other arm, like this. Then you're going to want to resize the legs, again, like this. Then repeat with the other leg. Then you're going to want to play test. And as you can see, you have made your morph thinner. Next, we're just going to get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. We're going to work with making the morph wider. You're going to want the skinny modifier checked off. It's not going to make your character thinner immediately. It's just going to enable it so that you can resize the parts yourself. What you're going to want to do is parallel to what we did with the other morph. You're going to want to move your arms outward like so. And we're going to do it from the back instead of the front this time, like this. And this, like so. And we're just, with this, we're just moving everything like outwards. Then we're going to do the same with the legs. And we're going to go into the back instead of the front. Like this. And if you absolutely want to, just so that I forgot to use the humanoid root part, oops. We're gonna move it like this and then into the back. And if you absolutely want to, just so that it matches everything else, you can resize that is. Make sure to take this off if you're resizing the head, can just move it however you want to, resize it, then move it up. It will make your character look a little bit taller, but I think that's okay. You can even move it like forward. Then you're going to want to play test. Then test out your morph. And as you can see, it's a little bit wider than the normal player size. You can make it thinner or wider as much as you'd like. But that's just how to do it, the basics of it. Again, it might go into the base plate a little. You can mess with the humanoid root part to make it so that it doesn't do that. But again, I just don't bother with it. Next, we're going to size the morph in a way that we're going to edit both the body type and the height. You're not going to want to use this size part right here, because if the skinny value, which we're going to use for this, is checked off, then the size modifier is just going to do absolutely nothing. So we're going to use the skinny modifier, aka we're going to resize the dummy in a way that it's going to affect the character's body type and height. We're of course going to start with... Okay, first of all, decide how you're going to modify your character's body type and height. I'm going to make the character taller and thinner. So we're going to start off with the legs. And we're going to move them down by... let's go with 1. Then we're going to size the torso in down 1 and the humanoid root part until you see this red line. Then we're going to size the arms down 1, just like before. And we're going to size the legs down. Just click and drag until it's like this. Then, all you're basically doing is combining what we did with height modifications with the skinny modifier, and then the body type modifications. So what you're going to do next is bring your torso in from the front by 1, and then at the sides, again by 1. Then you're going to bring your arms in with the move tool. And you're going to size them in from the front and from the side. From the front and then the side. Then you're going to repeat the exact same thing with the legs. And since we made the character taller instead of shorter, we're gonna move the head up, and maybe just never mind. We're just gonna move it up so that the chin doesn't go into the torso since we made it taller. Then we're gonna play test. And if you're not satisfied with how your morph's body type looks, you can always go in and out of playtest and continue modifying the dummy however you like, and you're going to want to focus on that humanoid root part. As you can see, my morph is a little bit taller than the normal dummy. You can always make it taller if you'd like. And here's the thing you can also do. If you're like me and you're not really satisfied with how the button is just raised up, you can move the button down to match where the Morph's feet would be. And it functions about the exact same. Next, I'm going to show you how to replace the head that comes on the Morph with another head, just how I do it. So what you're going to do is, first of all, I need to move this up here. But what you're going to do is open up Assets and go to Head, make it completely transparent. Next, all you're going to do is move this up here. You can take this off if you want. I'll just leave it on. But you're going to want to move this exactly where you want it so that it just looks like it was there before, all natural. And you're just going to fix it into place. Like so. You can resize the head so it looks a little bit bigger. And you're not done here, because what you're going to do next is you're going to take your new head, and usually I put it in hair. Then you're going to weld it to the old head. And you should be good from there. What you can do next, when you're going through the skin coloring of the first tutorial, you select everything you did beforehand, but you're also going to select face fix and ears inside of this head part. Then you just change it to whatever color you would like. Again, copy this, same as before. You can just test it like before. It should work just like this. It takes a bit to load. But as you can see, the head that you just added completely replaces the old one. I'm going to link the head replacements in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, credit for the morph goes to GunsBullets, and have fun with it.